I believe we're in a time in history where health has never been more important. It's a wake up call, right? I mean, people who are not healthy are at higher risk right now. May have been at higher risk all along, but at the end of the day, it's being brought to our attention, and it's time to get real. It's time to face reality, and that is, if you want to live a longer, or at least have a better chance of living a longer life, you need to take care of your health. And look, there is literally no downside to getting in shape. There's none. Feeling better, looking better, performing better, having better energy, more clarity, better sex drive, feeling more attractive. Like, stop me if you feel like those are bad things, because I personally think it's pretty damn cool, and I'm pretty sure that you would agree. Now, this does not mean you need to be ripped and some kind of fitness model to be considered healthy and fit. In fact, I would almost say that that's unhealthy, being that lean all the time. And that's reserved for people who are obsessed, genetically, superior, and just have, the body to be able to get to that level of development. I'm talking about being at a healthy level of body fat, getting rid of the gut, making sure your internal health is taken care of, your mental health is taken care of. And so this series this week that I'm going through, which is a 5-day series, we got 2 more days after this, I'm covering what I call the 5 pillars of what I've dubbed the maximize model, where we're maximizing your health and fitness. And this leads to success in all areas of your life. Okay. The lessons you're going to learn by getting in shape will translate over to business. It will translate over to your relationships. It will help you seek out the help you need in other areas of your life. I can speak from experience, and I have thousands of clients that I've worked with over the past 15 years that can say the same. So today I want to talk about the pillar that I call muscle. All right. And if you're jumping on live, please leave a hashtag live. I'm going to be checking comments. I want to make sure I'm answering all your questions and making sure you have what you need to succeed, but also just making sure that you're engaged, because I appreciate you spending time with me and getting some help with this stuff. So if you're watching on replay, leave comment, hashtag replay. Let me know you're out there. Let me know that this stuff is helpful. And we're going to keep this thing rolling along. This has been an awesome, awesome series so far. And today I'm super pumped to talk about why everybody should train to build muscle. Okay. So that's what we're talking about. So yeah, let's jump into it. So I'm going to give it a second to let everybody hop on here, and we're going to rock and roll here. Okay. So cool. All right. Let's jump into it. So training, okay, working out. Why is it important? Well, when we think of working out, I know a lot of us are going to think of different things. We're going to think of, some of us are going to think of going for a run. Some of us are going to think of doing like P90X, or some of us are going to think of being in the gym lifting weights. There's a lot of different variations of exercise. One form of exercise that is extremely important is resistance training. Okay, it's a fancy way of saying training our muscle, training our ligaments, training our joints to function better and get stronger. And sometimes build more size, build more muscle, and obviously look and perform better. Think of an athletic physique, okay? Someone who has muscle, but someone who can move really well. That's what we're after, all right? Athleticism, being an athlete, is not reserved just for people who are genetically elite, people born with good genetics. It's for everybody. Everybody can move better. Everybody can perform better. Everybody can have more muscle. It just requires training with resistance. And it doesn't mean you need to go in the gym and lift a bunch of heavy weights. Sure, lifting heavier weight than what you're normally used to is probably a good idea, done safely, done strategically. But everybody can benefit from training with resistance, whether that's just using your body weight, like a lot of us have been doing the past few months at home, using simple tools around the house, using a pull-up bar, using dip bars, using rings. Then, of course, if you have access to things like dumbbells, kettlebells, barbells, sandbags, milk jugs, like the list goes on and on. All we're trying to do is give resistance to our training, meaning there's a force that needs to be applied to lift something or move a certain muscle group and perform a contraction, meaning a bicep contraction or a back contraction or a chest contraction, where we have resistance applied to that movement that is not normally there, right? When I do a push-up with just my body weight, that's one way of training my chest, shoulders, and triceps. But when I add weight to my back and I try to do a push-up, now I've added resistance. What this does over time is it forces our body to adapt. And we have to build new muscle, stronger muscle, more functional muscle, so that as we age, as we get older, our bodies stay strong, okay? And in the current state where we're in, we build more muscle, we look better, we perform better, we probably avoid injuries much better, and we build our metabolism because muscle burns a lot of calories. It's why people who are more muscular generally are able to eat more because their body needs more fuel to keep muscle on their body. So everybody can benefit from resistance training, not just guys, not just bodybuilders, not just athletes, not just power lifters, not just CrossFit athletes, but literally everybody. Guys, look, if you think that you're just going to look a certain way by doing cardio, well, I hate to break it to you, but that's a different form of exercise. And not to say it's not an important version. We're going to talk about that when we talk about movement tomorrow. But resistance training is important for overall health. Muscle does a lot of things that help your body stay healthy. It's very metabolically active, right? So it burns a lot of calories. It fights disease. It can help your body fight off infection. It's very, very beneficial in terms of just overall functionality of your body, meaning the movements you perform every day, sitting down, standing up, laying down, lifting things, playing with your kids, having sex. Like, these things require your body to use the muscle and tendons and ligaments and joints and all the things that make up your physical body. And you got to train it. Okay. The body is meant to be trained. Back in the day when most of us were doing physical labor, and I say most of us, I didn't live hundreds of years ago, but the human race performed mostly physical labor. We didn't really have a need for resistance training because we did a lot of resistance training naturally in our day to day. We didn't need to go to the gym. We didn't need to lift stuff because we did it all day long. All right. We had a lifestyle that was very active, that was built around resistance training. That's why we didn't have gyms. And even, we had gyms, we had resistance training, we had variations of it. There were people who lifted things for exercise. But back to the dawn of time, most of our time as a human history has been spent with physical labor. It hasn't been until the recent modern technological boom where we've become more sedentary and we do less resistance training, a whole lot less. Most of us sit in front of a computer and do jack shit. So we got to train with resistance. Okay. So part of the lean body lifestyle, as I like to call it, because it is a lifestyle, where we want to be strong mentally, we want to be a great person, we want to be a great parent, a great friend, is we need to push our bodies out of our comfort zone at least a few times a week. 2 to 3 times a week is kind of the bare minimum. I wrote a whole program called Train Twice that is built around how, if I were to build a program around training twice a week, how I would do it, how you could do it. If you're so freaking busy that you can only work out twice a week, well, I have a program. So it's called Train Twice. You can go to my website and get it. It's at thetruetransformation.com. But I think that's the bare minimum. I think all of us can probably find time for 2 or 3 resistance training workouts per week. And these don't need to be long. These don't need to be 2 hours. I think if you train twice a week, carve out 1 hour twice a week, and you should be fine. You could probably get away with 45 minutes. If you're training 3 or 4 times a week, 30 to 45 minutes is probably more than enough if you're efficient and strategic about what you're doing inside the workouts. I'll give you a basic rundown around how to build an effective routine. You're going to want to think about movements that we mimic in our daily lives. And to keep it simple with you, I'll walk you through the simple way I look at this. So you have the squat, okay, where you're basically sitting down and standing up. That's a squat. You have a deadlift where you're picking things up off the floor and standing up. Those are 2 very functional movements that can be built into most people's training program. And before you say, oh, I have back problems and all this stuff, I don't mean you need to lift heavy here. You need to get into a good flow with this movement pattern. You can build resistance in using bands, using lighter weights, work your way up to using heavier weights. But if you have issues, hey, there's never been a bigger reason for doing them, unless, of course, your physical therapist or doctor says you can't, I would highly suggest working them into your program. Then we move into more of the upper body movements. We have a horizontal chest press, which is just moving your arms out from your body and back. You have a vertical press, which is a shoulder press overhead. Then you have the back movements. You have a vertical pull down, a horizontal pull. Those are really the basics. And then you have your midline movements, your upper ab dominant crunch, your lower ab leg raise. You have your twisting for your obliques, and then you have your bracing with some activity like a active plank for trunk stability, okay, and mobility. All right. So those are the basics. And then you have the fun muscles. You got the arms, you got the press downs, the curls, the side laterals, all that good stuff. You could literally build a program around those. What's up, Will? I see you out there, buddy. You could literally build a program around just those movements and simply work on getting stronger, doing more reps, less rest in between sets, and then kind of cycling through different phases for the rest of your life. And you would be fit. You would take care of all the X's and O's. You would check the box. Okay. I'm going to stop here just for a second. Any questions so far before I get into the rest of today's talk? Just give me a thumbs up if this is helping. Give me a like, give me a heart. Let me know. Drop a heart, drop a like, drop a heck yes helps. I appreciate it just because it helps me stay on track with what's working for you guys in terms of what you need. Okay, so like I said, you could literally do those exercises for the rest of your life, and you would get great results. Of course, then we got to factor in the mental side of boredom, novelty. We enjoy new stuff. We want to learn new movements. And so that's why I definitely encourage a healthy level of variety. I don't think you should have to stick to the same old stuff for the rest of your life. Feel free to build in. There's a million different exercises out there. I personally like a decent amount of variety in my routine simply because I've done a lot of the same stuff for many years. I've been working out in a gym since I was 13. To give you an idea, I'll be 35 this year. That's 22 years of training, okay? Am I the most muscular guy on earth? No. Will I ever be the most muscular guy on earth? No, because I do not have the capability, naturally, especially of building that much muscle. And I don't have any desire to. I've built a lot of muscle. I'm 215 pounds with, 10% body fat. So yeah, I'm doing all right. You're more than capable of doing the same thing, okay? The secret really is just consistency with your training. Even if, like I said, 2 or 3 days a week, if you did that forever, you're going to be in great freaking shape, okay? Especially if you've got the whole 5-pillar system mapped out. Resistance training is something everyone should do. So it's not just for guys, even though, heck, man, if you want to increase your testosterone, train with weights. Train with resistance. It's very important for hormonal health. Same with females, though. Females, to be honest, the females I know who train, they do it with better form. They get better results than guys because they're just so dedicated to it. Like, guys, you can learn a lot from females who lift weights. They do it with precision. They do it with perfect form, and it's impressive. And so I encourage everyone, okay? Everyone should lift weights. Kids, if you have kids and you're wondering when should they start lifting weights, master the body weight stuff first. Master the body weight squats, the push-ups, the crunches. Get them really, really good at that stuff. And then as they start to progress into athletics as they get older, then they can incorporate some healthy levels of resistance training. But yeah, everybody should do resistance. And if all you can do is body weight, awesome. Just do body weight. If all you can do is exercise bands, sweet. Just do exercise bands. The rules of the game here are just consistency, doing your best, and getting progressively better over time. That's called progressive overload, getting stronger, more reps, more sets, less rest in between sets over time. That's known as progressive overload, and that is going to help you build muscle. And before you worry about getting too bulky or getting too jacked or whatever, just understand that it's damn near impossible to get too jacked. And if you have superior genetics, well, good for you. You'll build muscle faster than all of us, and you'll get jacked, and you were just meant to be jacked. So just relax. But most of us are not going to build muscle very fast. In fact, a natural lifter who is consistent with both nutrition, recovery, and training should only expect to build a handful of pounds of muscle per year, okay? We're talking 3 to 5 pounds of muscle a year, maybe more if you're just starting out. But really, I built, I went from 165-ish to about 200 pounds during my 4 years of high school of lifting weights. So I was a lot of weight that I added, but it was over the course of 4 years. It wasn't overnight. And think about it, that was 200 pounds. I was 200 pounds when I graduated high school. And now I'm 215. So that was, a long time ago. And it was almost 20 years ago. So I have only gained 15 pounds of muscle in almost, in about 15, 16 years. So don't worry about getting too bulky. Understand that lifting weights is going to help your metabolism. It's going to help you stay lean. It's going to help you stay healthy. And everybody needs to do it. All right. There's no excuses. Everybody can start where you are. Don't worry about trying to be advanced. Just stick with what you're able to do now. And hey, if you can only do 2 days a week, cool. Just do 2 days a week. If you can do 3, great. I would start on the side of less is more, meaning, hey, if all I can, really get in every week is 2 sessions, then just do 2. Don't be like, I'm going to do a workout routine that requires 5 days a week. Like that's just not going to work. Okay. So that's it for me. Day number 3 here, talking all about muscle and the Lean for Life series. If you want my whole guide on how to get lean and you want a breakdown of exactly how to do it, go to lookgoodnaked.co. Free guide. It'll map out everything for you. If you haven't joined our Facebook group where we do coaching every single week, do it. Make sure you're in here. Make sure you're getting the results you need. You can get a link to that simply by leaving a comment. I'll reach out and send you the link. And if you need more help, just send me a direct message or email josiah@thetruetransformation.com, and we'll be happy to outline a game plan for you while you're stuck at home or whatever the case may be. We'll take care of you and make sure you have the tools and the guidance and the accountability that you need to succeed. So that, my dear friends, is it. I am off for a run. It's hot as heck out here in Virginia. So I'm going to go sweat like a stripper in Vegas. That was the best analogy I could think of right now. So that being said, mind is in the gutter, I guess, and I'm going to get in trouble. So anyway, I am going to go sweat it out and get a nice little run in. Hopefully you guys have an amazing day. Tomorrow we'll be back. Day number 4, we're talking about movement, cardio, all that good stuff you need to know about cardio, moving your body. And that'll be the 4th pillar before we wrap it up on Friday with the meaning pillar. And you'll love that because it's really, really good stuff. All right. Thanks for watching. Make sure you leave a comment. Let me know this helped. Talk to you soon.